few days ago, I told you about the quest for Team 0% to beat all of the Super Mario Maker 1 unbeaten levels, and I've got an update for you. They are officially down to one level left, and that level is the one that I highlighted, trimming the herbs. A really, really crazy level. I showed it in my last video. You can also see right now, there's some people grinding it. Here right now is Sweaty Piranha. It's been really cool to watch people grind it, actually. I've been doing some watch parties on Twitch where I have, multi-screens up, and you see people, they're spending a lot of time on practice right now. As you can see, Sweaty Pants right here is locked into some practice. We've got Same Ball over here just trying to get anything going. Been going for about 4 hours so far today. Little Curbs is already put in close to 30 hours in this level. Jang Pickle, she's been the farthest of anyone I've seen so far. She's got close to 50-60 hours in this level right now. Beast is pushing 10-12. Chris Speedruns, I was watching the other night. I want to give a shout out to Chris Speedruns. He was doing some incredible work on it, was getting super consistent with it. And what's been really interesting about watching people do this right now is that so many people are kind of like good at different things here. But what's really, really holding people up here is getting to this third plant seems to be the thing that is the absolute stopper for everyone. Going from trimming the herbs, you can see right here, this is the clear video from Oihu, trimming the herbs. It's incredibly precise, and I talked about it in the other video, but what I'm learning is what's really the hardest part here in this level is for sure this transfer from this second plant over to the third plant. This is where everyone is just getting absolutely stuck. And if anyone does get here, they get so excited and so just shocked that they've been here to get onto this little bomb spot and start doing the climb is seemingly just no one's there yet. No one is consistently getting to this third plant enough where they've been able to really make some really good efforts. There have been some people who have made the climb. Also, which is really cool, something that happened on this level, and I'll show Little Curbs doing this, is they actually found some cheese for the end, which is going to make it just a little bit easier, I will say. Although once you watch this cheese, you're replacing one frame perfect trick with,
right?
That's not much easier. Let's be honest. That's not much easier. Do I think that's going to significantly reduce the clear time of this level? No, absolutely not. I don't think so at all. I think at that point, I think that cheese is probably just as hard as dropping the bombs, more or less. I don't think that's going to have a massive difference on the clear time, but it is cool and it is there. Now, a couple things about our creator Oihu, because a lot of people have been asking a lot of questions about him. And Oihu is probably more famous for a different level he made called Bomb 5. And I'm going to show you guys this right here. Bomb 5 was considered for a long time the hardest Mario Maker level in here. And you can see that Oihu made this. It is a 3-minute long level for anyone that was questioning his abilities. He made this incredible level, and this got beat a while ago. And the reason this got beat a while ago, it had a lot of eyes on it, had a lot of people playing it. There was just a lot more people in the Mario community. But also a thing about this is that you can see one of the big differences and why I think trimming the herbs is taking players so much extra time is that this level's a lot more spread out. You have breaks of Mario falling and jumping, and there's a lot more full jumps and a lot less kind of precision needed. And don't get me wrong, that move right there was incredibly difficult, but it's just not the same level of massive amount of inputs that you have to do in such a short time. And I think that's one of the reasons why this is really being difficult, why this is really, really difficult for people, is just you have to do so many moves in such a little time, and you have no space in between that. Even here, when you're doing these full jumps with Mario, you got time to adjust, you know what I mean? You do have a half a second to kind of get your bearings and really know where you're going. Whereas in trimming the herbs, it is just constant, So as you can see here, this is another level, Bomb 5, that Oihu did. Incredibly cool bomb stuff. And you can also see there's a couple times where he basically does the little bomb drop tricks that he has in his current level. But just another example of why Oyu clearly did this, was clearly capable of beating Trimming the Herbs, why it's not, you know, a hack, because that's been kind of a rumor. Oh, it was hacked. Oh, that's why nobody can beat this, blah, blah, blah. Oyu's just, like, skilled at this. And kind of the best comparisons I could make to why Oyu's so skilled at bombs and maybe not the rest of the community might be as skilled is kind of the same way why, like, Dennis Rodman is so good at rebounding the basketball but can't shoot. Or the fact that, like, you know, Shaun White is the most amazing half-pipe rider ever, but is maybe not that great. Oh my God, I can't believe you just went and killed Yoshi with that too. Excessive. You know, or why Shaun White's the greatest half-pipe rider of all time, but maybe not the best in the backcountry, you know, when it comes to snowboarding. It's just you spend so much time getting one specialized skill together, and you kind of just focus on that, and you become really, 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 really great at that one skill. Now, another cool things, you can see Reddit posts have been popping up about this. Tons of people are going. But War Spy King here, Christian, another member of the community, was actually able to contact Oyu's, a friend of Oyu's. See, now, Oyu is not active in the community at all. Some people weren't even, you know, were wondering if he even knew that he had the last level left. So he did witness Oyu, this friend witness Oyu practicing it. Oyu had great integrity. Me personally, never a doubt in my mind that Oyu cleared that level. Like, I don't know why this has all gotten started other than the internet just loves conspiracies. Oh, there's no way anyone could have. No, it's, he uploaded it. It's hard. Maybe he got lucky, whatever it is. They confirmed that Oyu would play to the point of obsession. He played day and night, as we already know. He had incredible offline grinds. And finally, they confirmed he wants to be left alone. He does not care about this chapter of his life anymore, which is kind of insane in some ways. You know, you think about a guy who spent 6, 7, 8 years honing this skill, and now he's kind of almost seeing the reward of it, and he doesn't care. He just doesn't want to have anything to do with it. I hope, like, nothing happened to him where, like, Mario ruined his life or his obsession or anything like that, because video games can be an obsession, and if you're not lucky like me where you get paid for it, right, it can be a detriment to your life. I'm very lucky. It's an obsession for me, but I get paid for it to make videos like this, you know what I mean? So it's only helped my life. You know, we also have some other things. War Spy King also put together this wonderful pace bin. What is Trimming the Herbs? The remaining uncleared level. I thought it was beaten. You probably just saw a clear video. Yeah, so for anyone else curious, the clear video, you know, the creator clearing it doesn't count as a clear. It has to be cleared by someone else. Is it the hardest level in the game? Well, it's the hardest uncleared level in the game. It's technically the easiest uncleared as well. But how it stacks up to other already cleared hard levels in this game is going to vary depending on who you ask, because difficulty is very subjective. I want to really highlight this one. Difficulty is subjective. And what I mean by that, this is another really example. Oyu spent so much time doing these bombs, building these setups and everything that other people just haven't practiced. So while it is incredibly difficult to the rest of the community, to him, this was kind of just a level. You know what I mean? It's very, very, very difficult. It's definitely going to be someone whose area of expertise is short sequences of difficult inputs would find TTH significantly easier than someone who is better at endurance levels or consistency levels. The general consensus is that it cracks the top 10 or maybe even the top 5, but this is very unscientific. And I would agree with that. You know, I think there is definitely, like, you know, I talked about the Beast just crushing these new Super Mario Brothers speedrun levels. Like, that's his freaking thing, man. That is his thing. For me, in Super Mario World, I'm kind of a shell guy, right? Like, I love shell levels. I'm addicted to it. I want to learn how to drop a shell and bounce off it every different way. I'm better at shell levels than precision jumping or recognizing trolls, things like that. So I totally agree with that and totally believe that. Okay, so why don't we ask the creator to clear it? We don't count maker clears legitimate clears, so that's why the community wouldn't count it. So even if he did come back and clear it, that would not be a thing. Why don't we ask the creator to delete it? Duh. You know what I mean? There's tons of people that are playing TTH right now. Yoshi, Sombrero, Little Curbs, Jank Pickles, The Beast. Currently, the best known run is Yoshi, who missed 1 pink coin and failed to spawn the final bomb. So Yoshi has gotten all the way to the ladder, but unfortunately did not go with it. Sadly, having more players doesn't increase the likelihood of TTH being cleared, as it is a much easier level, or in the most extreme case, an RNG level, because you need a very high baseline of skill to tackle it with TTH. Yeah, I actually disagree with that. The more players going, the more likely it is to be cleared for sharing strats, for learning new cheese, learning new, like, where, oh, I recognize, like, when you're playing, sometimes you don't recognize what you did right, but then when someone else doesn't, you're watching, you have the whole screen in front of you, you can totally recognize it then. So I actually disagree with that one. I think more people playing actually does help. However, I do think that it matters that it's the right person playing. I like this. Are the bombs kind of and the bomb spawns in TTH kind of jank? Kinda. There are aspects of the spawning the bombs in TTH that would typically be considered jank in a well-designed level. However, that concept kind of breaks down when talking about a level like this. To understand, we need to explain exactly what jank is, blah, blah, blah. You guys get what jank is. The real answer in Mario Maker, is it jank? Yes. But if you do everything the exact same way every time, it won't be jank. So it's just jank in that it feels like you're doing the same thing. And that's kind of what we use at Mario Maker. We use jank as like, we feel like we're doing the same thing but getting different results. But in all reality, if you do the exact same thing every single time, it'll work. The final bomb spawn is determined by two things: how high the camera is and how low Mario is relative to the camera. By initiating the bomb ladder from higher and or controlling your jump that lands on the middle bomb, you can guarantee it to spawn. Additionally, the second bomb can go left or right depending on the direction that a mechanism's bomb is facing. The first bomb of the level explodes. This is determined by how many frames you spend between hitting the turn block and the spawning mechanism in. So you can see that this is what it's jank. And this is why it's jank. You could be a couple frames off, a couple pixels off, feel like, you know, like in your mind, in your eyes, you feel like you did the exact same thing, but in all reality, you didn't. Other practice setups for the tower. It's actually been really fun watching all the practice setups that people have made. I would like to highlight some of the cool practice setups. Little Curbs has basically built like a straight gym, so he can practice one part, and then once he misses it, he can practice another part. And it's kind of really cool to watch, like, Little Curbs' beautiful, like, CrossFit gym for this. Are we sure it wasn't hacked? Yes, I'm sure it wasn't hacked. How do we know it wasn't Splice? It wasn't Splice. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, could the clear video have been tasked? Listen. The thing with why the clear video wasn't tasked, chat, in 2017, we just didn't have the ability to do that on the Wii U. That's the number one reason. We just simply didn't have the ability to do that on the Wii U. Secondly, this player has proven themselves over and over and over again. Like, we don't need to do this to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to do this. I understand Carl Job's videos are fun. Like, we got to call it out. Like, this is a legit one. It's a legit video. It's been enough. This man has enough street cred that I'm fully confident about it. And I'm also fully confident that it's going to get clear. Anyway, if you want to watch the final level, you can check me out. I'm going to be doing watch parties all week where we put everyone who's playing the level on split screen. And we just kind of watch, vibe with them, hang out with them, gift them some subs, you know, to pay them for their content that we're borrowing, and try to be there because, quite frankly, at this point, I'm as much of a fan of this as a player. Like, I am deeply invested in this and I want to see this end. So I want to be there when that final Mario Maker 1 level is cleared and that big celebration. So we are close to $2,000 worth of just straight cash bounties and another like $1,000 of video games that this player is going to get when they actually beat it. Not to mention the amount of crazy gift subs that they will be getting from every single human that is watching at that time. So actually big money on the line as well for whoever beats this. It's really exciting. While it's a collaborative, it's also kind of a competition. So it's really exciting to see who's going to be the one to beat it. Who do you think is going to be the one to take down Trimming the Herbs and get the final clear on all of Super Mario Maker 1 levels?